Alright, aloha guys. Welcome to the Live Surf Love YouTube channel with Sean Doherty, aka Polar. This is going to be a vlog episode, another episode, so get ready for it. It's going to be all about our fins. These are not all of them, these are just the different types of them. I have some in our boards and other ones, just different colors, maybe a little different shape, but they're all basically the same thing. But before we get into the fins, by supporting this YouTube channel, please subscribe, comment, share, like it, give it a thumbs up. Would be absolutely appreciative. It's free. It takes 2 seconds just to click it. Also, every Wednesday, you can win this free shirt, the Live Surf Love YouTube shirt. It's also big letters in the back with subscribe, and I'll have the play button on the new ones. That will be every Wednesday. So me and my wife here from California. So when the time change comes on Wednesday, I'm gonna change the times. I used to do it at 8 a.m., but people are like, well, I'm not up, or you know, I have this or that. So I'm gonna change the time to 7 p.m. Wednesday night. So 7 p.m. Pacific time. East Coast, that will be 9 o'clock. And Hawaii, that will be 5 o'clock. And the Western states will be 7 p.m. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that, and also put it in one of the thumbnails, maybe all the thumbnails, who knows, about it. But yeah, so tune in. You could also buy this shirt for $30. So yeah, you can get it also any color. We're doing hoodies, sweaters, crew necks, sweaters, hoodies. So yeah, let me know if you want that. We're doing colors right now on the shirts: light blue, white, black, and forest green so far. But anyways, let's get started on the tutorial of fins here. We're gonna start off with my first fin here. Say hello to the D fin. And so this is a D fin. It looks like a capital D. You kind of can see the shape a little bit. So it looks like a capital D. And so this has a lot of pros and cons. This fin was meant for classic longboard single fin, just like what me and my beautiful wifey ride, longboards. And I have a classic longboard 10-footer. She has a 9.2 right now. But this is, from the 1950s, 1960s, very wide base, as you can see right here, very thick throughout the whole fin. Now let's get into the pros and cons of this. The pros of this D fin is it's gonna hold into the wave. So when you're nose riding, cross stepping, it's gonna sit there because you got all this width, length, thickness, and when you're on the nose, this thing won't let you purl, it won't let you slide out, it'll just stay stable the whole time. So that is a plus when we're nose riding. Definitely love that. The cons of this fin is, you can see how big it is. Again, you're not going to turn very well. So if you need to get back, if you're out running the wave and you're out into the flat off to the shoulder and you need to get back to come back to the wave, so where the whitewash is over here and we're going this way, we're going this way in the whitewash, you have to come back. Well, look at how much surface space. So this thing is not gonna cut back very fast as maybe a different fin that we'll be talking about later. So the stability, amazing. Sliding out, amazing, because you won't slide out. Turning, not so good. So, you know, maybe you're on just a 1 foot, 2 foot day at your home beach, perfect for longboarding, go with the D fin. You'll never, especially if you're learning how to nose ride. I would not suggest going out on like a really, really good day on a 2 to 3 foot day. That's like good and green. What I mean by green is surf line, or like 3 to 4. I would not want you to ride this fin and be like, oh my God, I can't turn, you know, like I can't get back into the whitewash. I'm out running the wave, but it's so fun nose riding this. So just practice it. It's a cool fin. I love this fin. I tried it multiple times. One time I did try it on a 2 to 3 foot day, but it was just so hard to cut back and get back into the whitewash and get the power and the speed to go. And and also I realized how good it is when I'm on the nose of my board of how well this just sits. So the board doesn't do this that much. I mean, eventually it will, but you have to just take a couple cross steps back. But this thing just stays in the pocket so well, so amazing. So it's definitely a fin to try out, and don't knock it till you try it. All right. So that is the D fin, and I hope you guys enjoy it when you try it. Comment on my video if you try this fin. I would like to know if you have tried it or if you plan on trying it. If you see me out in the water and you want to try a fin, let me know. You know what I mean? We'll talk. You know, maybe we'll swap fins or something like that. But yes, this is the D fin, and yeah, again, don't knock it till you try it. So that's fin number 1. You. All right, guys, let's talk about fin number 2 here. We got the Hatchet Fin, a very recognizable fin because you can see the big scoop out right here. So it's not as wide. You can see the base right here, not as wide as the D fin, a little bit narrower, fatter on the top. Right here it cuts out. This is what they call the Hatchet Fin. Also, classic longboarding from the 1960s longboard, classic longboards. So this was built for the 1960s or in the 1960s, and we still use it to this day. Basically all the fins we do. So yeah, this fin, pros and cons of this fin. It's gonna definitely hold into waves just like the D fin, because you can see how fat it is for trimming or smoothness of it. And so when you're walking the board, so obviously the fin's gonna be like this in the water. When you're walking it, it has still that big surface area, just a little scoop out right here. And it's gonna hold in when you're nose riding. So when you're on top, when you're on the nose, the tip of the nose, this will still stay steady. It's just a little bit different right here. So the good thing about this wave is when you're nose riding, it'll still hold in. Base is a little bit smaller, but it still work great for nose riding. For beginners, intermediate, experts, you could definitely use this fin anytime, basically anywhere. The cons of this fin, it's pretty heavy, just like the D fin. They're both really similar in weight. So they're probably the heaviest, not probably, they are the heaviest fins in the group of longboard fins. So when it gets to bigger surf, yeah, that's a whole different story. It's not gonna turn as well, just like the D fin. So you're just gonna be kind of stuck there. It is heavier, so like if you are carrying already a 20-foot-pound board, this will still add a little bit of weight to it to carry down to the beach. It will definitely be good when you're catching waves, but even when you're paddling out to the lineup, you will still be feeling the weight of it. So it kind of drags you a little bit, slows you down when you're paddling out there, trying to paddle for a wave. But it is great for when you're on the nose of the board. When you catch the wave, you'll feel a big difference from a different fin that we're gonna have later on. So I would recommend this board, this fin, anytime. Just maybe not bigger. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that anytime, because that means you could use it for bigger surf. I would say you can use this basically 2 to 3 foot waves, 1 to 2, 0 to 1, and people are like, why do you say 0 to 1? Isn't that flat? Well, if it's 1 foot, we could go out there and surf on a longboard. Shortboarders, see you later, but longboarders, we can actually catch a 1 foot wave. If you just want to be out in the ocean and you're just trying to catch something, you could go out there. So 3 to 4, I would say this is the limit for that, because if you're trying to, again, cut back into the whitewash to get speed, to get back up and 3/4 or halfway up the wave to nose ride, this is going to be very hard to turn. So you want to use it on smaller days, and it will be great in smaller days. Bigger waves, you might want to go with something different that we will tell you about here in a little bit. So yes, this is a Hatchet Fin, very, very recognizable fin. You'll see different styles of it. So this is just one style. So this one kind of has a more scooping roundness to it. You'll see some that have like a sharper edge, kind of looks like a square a little bit. So yeah, but it just looks like a hatchet, and that's where they got the name from it. So it's a Hatchet Fin, meant for the 1960s, and it's just a overall cool fin, classic fin. So again, don't knock it till you try it. Another good thing, you won't, sorry, excuse my language, you won't slide ass or slide out. That is a surf term, slide ass or slide out. So what that means, just like the D fin, is when you're on the nose, your tip of the board, and you think you're gonna pearl, this fin will hold in to that pocket so nicely because it's so fat that it will hold in and let you nose ride a little bit longer than the other fins. Just the only problem is when you take that cross step backwards, you know, when you go backwards to get to that whitewash, it's just going to take more time. So that's the only thing that is wrong with this fin. Other than that, it's a great fin. Go out on smaller days and you will have a great, great time with this fin, guaranteed. All right, guys, so that's fin number 2. You, aloha. Alright guys, here is fin number 3 by Captain Fin. It's a 9.5 foot fin. This is called the flex fin. As you can see, it's very narrow at the base, very narrow on the tip, just kind of like the Hatchet Fin, scooped out right here. And yeah, just very narrow throughout, like a rake kind of fin. So see how the back, the other ones were kind of more smoother, kind of up more. This is more like a rakey fill, thin through the nose. This was built in the 1960s also, between, usually when it first started getting popular was 1968 through, 1966 through 1968. This fin was getting very popular. The pros on this fin right here is it bends while you turn. So your turning is gonna be absolutely amazing. So like the other two of the D fin and the Hatchet Fin, those are like more for classic logs. Those won't turn, as like I said, getting back into the whitewash or anything. This will have the looseness of the smaller tip, smaller base, smaller all the way through, so you will be able to turn this more. The downfall is that you won't be able to hold in when you're nose riding. That is a con. But the pros of this is you will be able to turn, you'll be able to move on this, you'll be able to bend it. So like it'll bend in the water, it'll bend and then it'll spring back. So like when you turn and you come back, it'll like spring back. Definitely not beginner friendly, just because it's gonna be very, very loose out there. Also, if you're a longboarder, this is gonna be like for more performance longboarders. You could use it as a single fin. A lot of these guys like it as a 2+1. I always go single fin, so if I ever use this fin, it better be a bigger day. So the waves that you would like for this, unlike the other two of the Hatchet and D fin, you want knee to head high waves if you're gonna use this, because a smaller day, it won't hold in. It'll be very hard to paddle into the waves, just very, very slow. on a smaller day, but on a bigger day it will be perfect. So if you're a beginner trying to work on your footwork or trying to get cross stepping, this is not the fin for you. So don't go out and be like, oh, I'm gonna get a flex fin because it's cheap. And these fins, none of these fins right here, they're all fiberglass, are not cheap. So just make sure you get it for your style. So if I would say if you're a beginner, one of those two will be perfect for you. There's another one that I'll show you for a beginner. It's gonna be my favorite one, the last one. But yeah, so this is the flex fin. I like it, like I said, on bigger days because it'll turn, you get back into it, and it's a lot of fun on bigger days. But if you're not going for a bigger day, this fin is not for you. It will give you that full dynamic feel. You'll feel the difference too in the speed. I should talk about that. The speed will be drastically way different. You will feel the power and the speed on this fin than the other two right here that I'm touching with my left hand. So these two right here, the Hatchet and the D fin, will not give you that speed. This thing will be so loose that when you're turning, you'll keep the speed up. Unlike these two where you're turning and you have to do a big ass turn just to turn it and then come back. This, you could not turn it on the dime because it's still too big. I mean, it's a 9.5, but you could turn it a lot quicker. So instead of doing this big looping turn, you could kind of cut it back and then shoot out and keep your speed up to get back on top of the wave, to performance, to nose ride and stuff. But again, it won't hold in. So you gotta really know your footwork. So I would say this fin right here, the flex, would be a good intermediate to expert fin. So for your choice. So if you're starting to get to that level of, man, it's overhead day, what fin do I choose? Go with the flex. You will have a lot of fun with this. You'll have an amazing time. It'll basically make you feel like, even though you're not riding a shortboard, or like if you do have a log, you'll feel like you're riding a mid-length. So yeah, you could ride this with a mid-length board, which a lot of you don't know what a mid-length board is. It's most likely between like a 7-footer and like a 8'9", 8'10" board. Then you get to your logs of 9 foot and over. So mid-length is like between 7 to 8 feet, like 7 to 8, 8'9", 8'10" surfboards. So until you get to the 9. So yeah, anywhere between that will be your mid-length. So it'll be perfect for that. You could also use it as a longboard. Just know that you are probably not going to be able to work on your footwork as much. You'll just mostly be hitting the lip and carving it up and down and stuff like that. So yeah, so that is the flex fin by Captain Fin. It's actually one of my favorite surf fins right here, Captain Fin. I'm also having my shaper design me one custom made, so super excited that this is not my shaper. I just really like this fin. So Captain Fin. So yeah, so check them out. They have all different kinds of fins as well. You don't just have to get the flex from them. We have another one coming up, but not from them. But yeah, so check out Captain Fin. This is a 9.5 flex fin. You laters. Alright guys, here's our last and final fin. This is by Flying Diamonds. This is CJ Nelson model, so another great brand. The Captain Fin is actually in my wifey's board, and then I have another pivot fin in my board from Flying Diamonds, just a different color, a little bit wider. But this is my favorite fin right here to use for my single fin logs. Same with my wifey. This is called the pivot fin. As you can see, it's a little bit wider throughout on the backside, even in the nose, so wider than the flex, smaller than the D fin, smaller than the Hatchet fin, except this has just a little bit more width in the inside right here than the Hatchet, and a little bit smaller than the D fin. and the base is wide, just like kind of like the other two, just a little bit smaller, but wider than the Flex, obviously. And so it's kind of like the middle child is what you could call it. Oh, the screw's coming out. I gotta tighten that up so I don't lose it. But anyways, this is a pivot fin. This was also designed from the 1964 to the 1966. We use it all the time. I mean, this is my go-to fin, whether it's Captain Fin, CJ Nelson, or my shaper from Chuck Den. Jim, his brother's makes custom fins, so I'm gonna eventually have my first custom fin, and can't wait for that, the colors, designs. And if you have any suggestions, please comment on the video at the end of your designs of what it should be, and maybe I'll choose one of them, so please comment. But yes, let's get into it. So the pros of this pivot fin, which is my favorite, is that it's gonna be stable. So when you're surfing, it's gonna, and you're on the nose of the board, so you're out there hanging 5, hanging 10, it's gonna be stable. It's gonna be perfect to hold in. It's gonna be, it's able to turn enough, like not like the Flex, and not as stiff as a Hatchet or D-fin. So it's kind of the, like I said, the middle child fin. So yeah, you're gonna be able to turn this and everything like that. So yeah, it's a great fin. I love it. It's great on small days. So it's like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, even sometimes 3 to 4, depending if it's mushy, like at Sano or Doho, where we like to go swamis, it could work. But this is a great fin for beginners, intermediates, experts. A lot of people go to this fin because it's just a great feel to it. It's nice, it's stable. It's just, it has some speed, not full speed, but it has some speed into it. So when you turn and you come back, it will give you some speed and some lift and carving. So that's what I like about it. The cons of this is not good for big waves. So when the waves get a little bit bigger, this will, it'll be tougher because the base is wide, the whole thing is wide from the backside to the front. It will just be rough, not like the Flex where you can get that turn. This will be a little bit slower. It will be draggy a little bit. So like, remember your fin's on the back of the board. So when you're trying to turn, it'll be dragging. You could even put it in your fin box all the way to the front. That might make a little bit difference. So if you place your fin in the front of the fin box, so like closer to the nose, you know, you could get a little bit more speed. If you place it back, you get a little bit more drag. Middle is kind of just all around. That could help. It could work, but I would suggest on a bigger day, just go with the Flex. But this is great because me and my wife are full nose riders. It sounds kind of weird, but we just want to hang 5, hang 10 all day. Like I love Waikiki. By the way, me and my beautiful wifey are going to Hawaii next week. So shout out to my wifey. Aloha, honey. My beautiful wifey. And it's our 2-year anniversary, that we've been married. So super stoked. But yeah, so this is CJ Nelson Flying Diamond. So again, this is one of my favorite fin models. He also has boards, same with Captain Fin. So those are my 2 favorite, but yeah, you cannot go wrong with this board. So I'm a nose rider, so I give this a 10 out of 10 fin right here. This is my favorite one. It's all around, any condition. Like I said, well, maybe not any condition, like big waves, but I'm not really trying to find big waves because I just want a perfect 2 to 3 nose ride, trim, and just work on my footwork. And this gives me the most stability and the best turning because the other 2, the Hatchet and the D-fin, are not going to allow me to turn. And the Flex is just too small that it's just going to slide out and just go right under my feet and just knock me off, or just no control, and it's just gonna feel like a really bumpy riding a bull kind of thing. So yeah, so I would say if you're beginning, intermediate, expert, most people you'll see riding fins is the pivot fin. So this is a pivot fin. Go ahead, look them up. You cannot go wrong with any style you get. Joel Tudor has some, CJ Nelson, Flying Diamond, Captain Fin, and then even my shaper. So when I get that one made, I will show you guys. But yes, this is my favorite fin, and this is a 10-inch fin. So I have a 10-foot board. I usually like them 10 and over. My wifey has a 9.2, so if this helps you, I would say from like a 9 foot board to a 9.5 board, I would say look at like a 9.5 inch fin. If you have a 9.4, you could start looking at like 9.5 to 10 inches. And if you have a 10 foot board like me, I would say 10 inches to like 11 inches, even 12 inches, depending on how small the wave is a good fin. But I would say 10 foot board, 10 to 11.5 fin would be good for your boards. So yeah, so this is 10 inches and I absolutely love it. So make sure you go get one for your longboard if you're a logger like me and my wifey, classic loggers. Perfect fin right here. So yeah, all right guys, aloha.